Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Now, one of the things that I love about our community is how important and invested we are into the youth and the next generation. Joining us today are the founding board member and executive director of the Red Ribbon Project to tell us all about what they have going on and things that are up and coming here in the community. I've got Paula. Hello, how are you, Paula?
Good morning, Kim.
Good morning. Good, and Grace joining me as well. So, Paula, you are a founding board member of the Red Ribbon Project. Tell me all about it and your involvement and how it's changed over the years.
Right. The Red Ribbon Project was initially incorporated as a nonprofit in 1996. So we've been around a while, but we came about as a result of in response to the AIDS epidemic, which was a pandemic. For those of you who remember, those of us who remember, we decided that we needed to be supportive of the HIV community here in Eagle County with education and prevention and support. So we provided free testing and also education started in our schools then in 2000. And it has evolved since then quite a bit. And Grace will tell you more about how it's evolved. But every year, of course, we're a small organization. We just have one employee, Grace, and we have a lot of health educators that we use that work for us in the schools, providing education to the youth from 5th grade through 12th grade in Eagle County. This weekend we have an event. It's very important, our annual fundraiser in Eagle, and Grace will tell you more about that, at the Boneyard this Saturday from 5 to 8:30.
Okay, great. So Grace, you're executive director and the full-time employee for the Red Ribbon Project. So tell me a bit about your role and then we can talk about the event as well.
Yeah, so it's great. I stepped in about April this year, so fresh, which has been really nice to kind of refresh a little bit. As Paula said, it's been in the Valley for 27 years, and so our presence has been known and it's been felt by the community. I started working with the organization roughly 2 years ago when I started as an educator. We contract educators out to go into the schools and teach maturation and sexual health. So that's our youth skills building and our Quidate programs. And that's 5th through 8th is the maturation class, and the 9th grade we get into the health classes at each high school in the Valley and talk about sexual health more so. But it's been really great. I always go into the classroom saying, hey, I'm comfortable with the uncomfortable. Let's talk about it. This is really important stuff. Here's why we want to know it. So that's been really amazing. And then since joining, I've learned a little bit more about the free HIV testing program that we provide. So we provide the funding, not the testing, but we send people to either Doctors on Call or Mountain Family Medical Center and various other areas to hopefully get them tested. And once the testing has been completed, doctors then can guide the patients, if they have tested positive, to resources such as counseling and treatment and things like that. So that's been really amazing. With that program, we also distribute condoms in our Valley, which is super fun to have in bulk. It's kind of a funny little thing that I get to do, and Paula helps out by going around the Valley and helping spread our word and what we do just in local establishments. So that's been really great. Getting started on that.
Yeah, it's so important to have overall health awareness, and this is an aspect that often is overlooked. So it's great that you all are really kind of promoting that and educating and providing a safe space for students to ask questions that they don't feel comfortable to ask at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think the results have been excellent for us because our high school class specifically talks about teen pregnancy and prevention. And over the years, we've seen a drastic drop in the number of teen pregnancies in Eagle County. So I think even during the pandemic, we were a little concerned when kids were staying home that may change, that might change, but it did not. So so we feel like we're really making a difference.
Yeah, I'm really making an impact. That's great. Now, you have the annual fundraiser coming up this weekend. So Grace, tell me all about it.
Yeah, so this is it's our annual fundraiser. second one, but first leading it, and so that's been really cool. We are going to be hosting it at Boneyard in Eagle, and it's from 5 to 8:30, as Paula said. We have live music, so we have Sam B. and Michelle Cohn-Levy performing for us. They're local musicians, and we'll also have a silent auction tables full of items from local establishments, businesses who have donated items to our cause, which has been really amazing to see that support. But the biggest thing about this event is not only to raise money for a very small organization, but also we are rebranding. And so that's going to be our big announcement day, is this Saturday, September 9th, where we are announcing our new name. And it's, I want to share it. Everything in my bones says share it right now, but I've been enticing people to come a little bit because we have changed our name to just help explain what we do, because as we've said, we've expanded over the last 20 years, and our focus has been a little bit more for the prevention side in the schools, and so we picked a name that calls to action, really displays what we want to do moving forward, kind of keeps it open, which is really exciting. So that's kind of our big news of the year.
Well, now the anticipation
I
has
know.
me on the edge of the couch.
Everyone's wondering.
That's so exciting. Now, I think it's really great that you're bringing this energy to the program to create, more interaction, more interest in what you do, and that's really great. So, Paula, for you, you've seen so many changes. Tell me, what has been the most impactful? And you mentioned COVID. You were worried about that, but what has changed since COVID and since 2020 for the program?
Well, I mean, I think we were really valued in the schools. The school district really likes our presence there. During the pandemic, actually, it was very challenging because the school district both wanted us in the classroom, and for those students who did not want to be in the classroom, we were offering it remotely. So that was a challenge, but we met that challenge. And I think we're up and running again. Our vision is a community that values sexual health and well-being, and we want students, all people, young people, to make healthy decisions that could affect the rest of their lives. HIV and AIDS is not such an issue as it was, but it's still something that can happen if bad decisions are made.
Sure.
And as Grace said, we still do our free testing, and periodically someone does test positive. So it's never a good scenario. You're on medication for the rest of your life. And so we continue to expose the students to that possibility if in fact they do make the risky, engage in risky behavior and make a bad decision. So I think it hasn't changed since the pandemic. It's just re-established itself as very important in the community.
That's great. And Grace, you went from being an educator to executive director. So how do you partner with educators? How do you find them in order to continue expanding the program?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have a lot of, word of mouth has been really great. We've got such a tight-knit community that it's more so, hey, I know someone that works here that would be a really great fit. So that's been huge because we don't need too many educators, but we're still looking for some male educators. If anyone's interested, reach out. And so that's kind of how we've been operating for now, and that's how I got introduced, was just, hey, I can tell you think this is important. And so we brought on a few new educators who are former counselors, who are youth coordinators, who are nurse practitioners. So I got to meet with all of them and just kind of see how strongly they felt about our teachings of sexual health and maturation, and the excitement and enthusiasm was there, and that's really one of the biggest things. And so that's kind of where we're moving forward with.
Great. Well, tell us where to go for more information, and one more time about the event.
So we are going to be meeting on Saturday at Boneyard from 5 to 8:30, and you can, for now, up through this weekend, it's a little complicated having this name change, but you can still go to www.redribbonproject.org for information on our programs and the event, but that website will be changing after this weekend to the new name, so that'll be announced on our Facebook page and things like that, where you can find the big announcement if you aren't able to make it.
Wonderful. Well, Grace, I appreciate all that you're doing, and thank you for coming on the show. And Paula, just the impact that you've had over the years is really fantastic. And thank you for your passion for the youth and creating more awareness. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Now, stay tuned. We have a lot more here on the show. If you are interested in the Red Ribbon Project, head over to their website now. You can look at donations, being a part of the big event and the rebranding initiative on Saturday. Head over there. We will be right back with more on today's show after this break.